Hi, Sunday school kids. Today we are going to tell the story of the pretzel. And I have my niece Emily here with me today.
Hello, everyone.
And she's going to help us make pretzels while we do this. Now, you might want to ask, why are we going to tell the story of the pretzel? Well, the pretzel has a lot to do with the Lenten time that we're in right now. So let me give you a little background. Lent is a period of fasting and prayer in imitation of our Lord's fasting, 40 days and 40 nights, and in preparation for the feast of Easter. It is made up of 40 days, not including Sundays, from Ash Wednesday to the end of Holy Saturday. Penance, which means a change of heart or a victory over negative and striving toward a positive life, is a sacrifice of fasting. And this is a sign of spiritual penance when we do this Lent for 40 days. At Unity, we try to make a change in our daily lives that will bring a more positive quality of life to ourselves and the energy we release into the world. A traditional means of reminding the family that it's the holy season of Lent is the Lenten foods, which are served this time of year. One of those Lenten foods being the pretzel. The pretzel has a deep spiritual meaning for Lent. In fact, it was the ancient Christian Lenten bread as far back as the 4th century in the old Roman Empire. The faithful kept a very strict fast all through Lent. No milk, no butter, no cheese, no eggs, no cream, and no meat. They made small breads of water, flour, and salt to remind themselves that Lent was a time of prayer. They shaped these breads into the form of crossed arms, for in those days, they crossed their arms over their breast while praying, like this. Therefore, they called the breads little arms, which in Latin was the word bracella. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. From this Latin word, the Germanic people later coined the term pretzel, which eventually became pretzel. Thus, the pretzel is the most appropriate food symbol in Lent. It still shows the form of arms crossed in prayer, reminding us that Lent is a time of prayer. It consists only of water and flour, thus proclaiming Lent as a time of fasting. Many people eat pretzels today, all through the year. In many places, such as Europe, pretzels are served only from Ash Wednesday to Easter, thus keeping the ancient symbolism alive. So today we are going to make our own pretzels, and we're hoping that this turns out. We've never done it before, so we'll see what happens. So it says to take 1.5 cups of hot water and put a pack of dried yeast, either active dry or instant yeast, into the water. So Emily's going to do that for me. And then we got to stir that up. Let me find some wooden spoon they suggested. Here's a wooden spoon.
Okay.
And we're going to stir that up. And we're going to let that sit there like for a minute after it's stirred up. And you know, Emily, while you're doing that, I'm going to get the baking pans ready.
Okie dokie.
How's that looking?
Pretty stirred up. Right?
Yeah, and now it says to let it set for 1 minute. I guess to let that yeast do its thing.
Right.
All right. And then while we're doing that, I'll start measuring out a cup of flour at a time.
Okay.
Now, today's world, we always add other things to these pretzels, but we are going to try to make them the old-fashioned kind of way. So we're not going to use butter, which people use today. We're not going to use brown sugar, which if you ever get those Auntie Anne's pretzels at the mall, they use brown sugar in that. We're just going to keep it very basic, no egg, nothing. We're going to just use flour, salt, and water, and of course the yeast. So it says to add a cup at a time to the yeast. There you go. You might want to add that slowly.
I think it's been a minute.
I think it's been a minute, right?
Right.
Go ahead. We'll give it a shot. I don't know why I'm not doing this with a fork myself, but all right, go ahead. All right, you stir this and I'll get another cup ready. Let's see if a fork will work easier.
I think they said a whisk, maybe.
They said a whisk for the
Oh, okay,
other
okay,
thing,
okay.
so. It says wooden spoon.
Interesting.
Want some more in there?
Yeah.
All right, here we
Are
go.
you supposed to do it till like it's like not sticky?
Yeah.
Well, it's still liquidy right now. Okay, we're making some progress.
It says 3 cups, so. Too much there.
Okay, now we're gonna add a 3rd cup of flour.
Yep. Here we go. All right. You're gonna have to use your muscles on this, I have a feeling. I almost want to wash my hands again and dive into it there.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll take over and see what I can do here. Ugh.
She's the muscles of this operation.
I don't know about that. Let's see how it's going. My hands are wet, so it's not going to help touching it. All right, I think I'm going to dry my hands a little better.
Okay.
And let the dog out. Go ahead. You go? Go, 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 go. All right. Yep. All right, let's see what happens here. Maybe a little bit more flour. We have to put flour on this thing, so I'm gonna move that there. Let me see this. So it said after. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. Never made pretzels before. We'll have to see here. Woo. Still a little sticky. All right. All right. I think it says when it bounces back. I think this is still a little sticky. All right, I think we're getting there now. Put it in a ball. Not quite.
Not quite.
This is a science I never knew about. I think the inside's a little sticky. The outside's doing good. All right, I think. Could you put some flour out here on the
Yes.
countertop that we sterilized beforehand? There you go. It says to knead it.
Okay, I'm gonna get wash my hands once again.
Okay. Ah, I think it's actually working.
There we go.
All right, there we go. All right, look at it's bouncing back.
Yes.
Okay, so the next step says to turn this over for 3 minutes. Keep doing this. You want to take over with this, and then we're gonna put it into the bowl with a towel over the top, and I'll get a clean towel for that, and let it set for 10 minutes while we get the baking soda and water ready in the boiling. What was I doing? Clean towel. In the meantime, while she's doing that, we have to have a half a cup of baking soda in 9 cups of water on the stove boiling, so we can drop them in there for 20 to 30 seconds. They said if you do it any longer than that, it'll taste metally. So, wow. Wow, that's a science experiment in itself. I didn't know that baking soda would go crazy in the hot water.
Everyone's learning new things today.
All right, let me get the baking pans out and get them covered. So the next thing is they say to cover the baking pans with either those gel-like mats that are silicone mats or wax or parchment paper. I don't have those silicone mats, so we're going to use parchment paper. And they said if you use parchment paper to spray it with non-stick spray. So we'll do that. All right, want to put it in the bowl and we'll cover it up? I think it's probably more than ready. So we'll get this clean towel on it. All right, we're back. It's been 10 minutes. We have our dough ready to go. And so what they say to do next is to take some, and they tell you to cut it into 1/3 cups, but I probably won't do that. I'm just gonna take some. And you make it into a long 20 to 22 inch roll, like a log roll. This is the fun part. Getting into the video. This could be the fun part for kids to do here. All right, so let's see what happens next. Joe, we're videotaping.
With our special guest star.
So, I have this long pretzel-like thing. So then you make it into a circle and you twist together your ends and then flip them over and press them down. Not too bad my first attempt, right?
That was good.
So let me show you what that looks like. So you probably can't see it there. There we go. And Emily's making hers look really pretty over here. There we go. All right. So now you take it and you drop it into the boiling water with the baking soda in it for 10 to 20 seconds only. That's probably about right?
It's supposed to be 20 to 30.
Oh yeah, 20 to 30 seconds. Was that 20 seconds? I would think so.
Yeah.
All right, so then you take it out.
Allow as much water to drip off it as possible.
Yep, and dripping the water off here. And then you put it on the baking sheet that has the parchment paper on it. Want to drop yours in?
Yep.
All right, now maybe we can stop the video and
Yep.
do this for a little bit. All our pretzels on our baking sheets, and Emily is going to salt them. I like a lot of salt, so we use coarse salt. That's perfect. They don't look the greatest. Some of them look better. Some of them are really cute. Look how good that one looks. But this was our first attempt. Oh, this one looks good too.
I think we did just great.
And who knows? Maybe we'll be professional pretzel makers one day. Who knows? Oh, that one's gonna be really salty. All right, and then we're going to put these in the oven, and then we'll be back to see how they turn out in about 15 minutes. So until then, hang in there. All right, it's time for our big reveal. Hopefully this is gonna work. Let's check it out. Here's one.
Ooh,
they look pretty good.
They look good.
And here's the other. They're a little smaller, so they're a little bit more done.
Ooh, yep, looking pretty
It's
good.
looking good though. And turn off the oven, and now we're gonna try it. Pretty good. All right, so I just want to remind everyone the reason that we even did this was it is Lenten season, and this is a symbol of Lent. It still is today. It's not as carried out here as it is other places, but remember, it's because this is the way that people used to pray. And so maybe in this time of need, we all could come together in prayer and just be thankful for the things that we have in our lives. All right, see you next time.